Howdy, this is Bill Rayford coming at you from Texas, and I'm here to talk about isomorphic JavaScript. And not only isomorphic JavaScript, but specifically crypto and crypto-subtle and web crypto API isomorphic JavaScript, which in Node version 19 makes it easy enough for even dummies like me to figure out how to do isomorphic JavaScript in a very simplified way. So let's see here. Here is my helper-gib library that I've just pulled out a bunch of stuff from my ibgib stuff. And this is a ES module package. And it has just very, very simple utility files, or utility functions. So, and a couple other things. But the main thing is here in the utils, and I'll have a link to the actual library that you can look at. Here in the utils, this is the main one that I want to look at. Let me increase that font a little bit. There we go. So this hash function, right? So it's just a simple hash function. It's async. It hashes some string using some algorithm using the web crypto API. So the way it was before was that Node had implemented their own crypto API. And so to have isomorphic JavaScript work in both Node and the browser, you had to do, or at least for me, I had to do a special little hack in order to build from different sources. And then I had to, generate, I had to use code generation and all that stuff. Now with version 19, we can have just this simple function work in both Node version 19 and above and the browser. So the key to all this is this part right here. And specifically, it's this global this with the crypto on it. So if we look at this is the very exciting piece. Here's the MDM article for globalThis. This acts as the same member in both Node and the browser that resolves either to the Node global or the browser's window, right? So before, if you wrote window, Node wouldn't know what a window is, and the same, and the reverse for browser. But now, see, look at this. Prior to globalThis, there's no real cross-platform way to get the global object. It's just a hack, right? They're going to show you some hacks here and blah, 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 blah. But now we can just use globalThis. And if we go over here, Node. All right. So now, globalThis.crypto. Okay. Now, if you look at a previous version, maybe it's there. All right. So here's the difference. Require Node, crypto, web, blah, 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 blah. That makes you have problems, right? When you want to share code. And version 19, however, simplifies it. Now, maybe, again, maybe other people had better things than code generation and, different hacks. The only way I could figure out how to do it was to have a, this file, utils helper dot browser.ts. This is TypeScript, but it compiles JavaScript. It's the JavaScript that's important. utils file, utils helper file dot browser and dot node, and then you'd have a compile target. So says, oh, I'm compiling to this or I'm compiling to that, and I still didn't figure out how to have export both node and browser within the same package.json. But now with ES modules and this global this, we can use this one function here and it resolves to both. And that's because this subtle, we go to the definition, this subtle is accessed by a crypto on the global this. And that makes it super awesome. And everything just works now. So this will run I have set this up with Jasmine to have two different tests. One runs Jasmine in Node, one runs Jasmine in the browser. It's the best testing environment that I could find. Karma was more complicated. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not as smart as these people, and I like things simple. And the Jasmine was relatively straightforward and relatively simple. And I'll make a video about that later. But yeah, so Jasmine, with this project, you can see how I set it up. If you want to just look at the source with the link, I'll put it in the description. So here we see that we're running these tests in both. Here's Node. Here's using, I think I'm using the headless Chrome browser here. Excuse me. So, all right. So as you see, you know, some of the tests here, we have the hash, should digest a simple string consistently. It calls that, if we go to this definition, GD, because I'm using Vim in VS Code, that's the hash function that we were just looking at. So we can use this subtle.digest. It works in both Node and the browser. That's very exciting. They kept saying, you know, isomorphic, web crypto, blah, blah, blah. But with the ibgib stuff, you know, a hash is at the core of everything. I even made my own encryption algorithm using just a hash as the primitive. So that's an interesting thing called encrypt-gib. As far as I can tell, no one else has come up with that, which is interesting because everyone thinks of hashes as only being for signatures and the like. But anyway, so now we can use subtle.digest, very, very important, in both Node and the browser. So that's it. That's why I wanted to get out there. It does require Node19, which means it's an odd number, and it's their very bleeding edge version, which means if you're looking for something supported, you know, it's still too early for you. Maybe once Node 20 comes out, then you'll be able to have an even number supported version. But for me, this was a huge win. I've been waiting for this for years to simplify the crypto side of it. So you can also use these other, you know, random UUID, other functions. I primarily use that crypto.subtle, the digest function on it. So you can also use decrypt, encrypt, derived key, you know, get your keys however you want to use it. But yeah, so exciting stuff. Node19. Let me know if you're interested in seeing that Jasmine video. I'm very excited about it. And yeah, so that's it. Have a good day.